What if you gave everything, your whole life, your health, your future for someone you believed in and then you died and when you came back nobody even remembered your name? That's not the motivational quote, that's literally the story of the greatest swordsman of his era, reborn 100 years later into a world that forgotten he ever existed. And you know what he does? He doesn't cry about it, he doesn't give up, he rolls up his sleeves and he rebuilds everything from zero. Welcome back to Anime PTB. Today we are going deep into one of the most underrated, most emotionally powerful, most hyped manhwa in the game right now. This is Return of the Mount Hua Sector. What is this manhwa? Return of the Mount Hua Sector, also known as the Return of the Blossoming Blade, is a Korean manhwa adapted from a web novel. It was originally published on Naver and has been running across 2 seasons. The setting is ancient China. The world is called Murmurin, a hidden world where martial sectors compete for dominance, honor and power. Think of it like a secret society of warriors and each claiming territory, training disciplines and fighting for a status. At the very top of that world was once the Mount Hua Sector, famous for its plum blossom sword technique, its legendary disciplines and its role in protecting the entire Murmurin world. The manhwa blends action, adventure and comedy and it does all three incredibly well. The art style is very clean and expressive. The fight choreography is detailed and satisfying. And the story is the real depth. It's not just about fighting, it's about legacy, loyalty and what it means to carry the weight of the people who came before you. Now let's talk about how it's began. 100 years before our story starts, the Murmurin world was pushed to the brink of destruction. The heavenly demon, also known as the Chairman, rose to the power and began tearing apart everything martial world has built. Sectors fall, legends died, the world trembled, but one man stood against him. Chengmeng, the 13th discipline of the Mount Hua Sector and one of the 3 greatest swordsmen alive, faced the heavenly demon in the final clash and at the summit of the demonic cult mountain. He won, but winning cost him everything, his arm, his life force, and he died on the mountain surrounded by the bodies of the fallen commanders filled with regret, not because he failed but because he could already see what would happen next. Mount Hua Sector didn't have enough strength left to recover and he was right. 100 years passed. The once glorious Mount Hua Sector is now a shadow of a former self. Their sword techniques are degraded, their disciplines are weak, their reputation in the Murmurin world is basically gone. Now they are poor, disrespected and on the verge of disappearing completely. And then Chengmeng wakes up, reincarnated in the body of a young, low-ranking discipline of a Mount Hua Sector. No one knows who he really is. He has no power yet. He looks like a child, but his mind, his memory, his will, 100% the plum blossom sword scent. And the moment he sees what happened to his sector, he is furious. And that fury is the engine that drives the entire story. Let me talk about the Chengmeng as the character because I genuinely believe he is one of the best written MCs on all manhwas. He's not just a typical cool, calm, mysterious, reincarnated protagonist. He is messy, he cries, he complains, he hustles for the money like a street vendor. He yells at his own seniors. He is dramatic, he is petty, he is hilarious. One of the reviewer online described him as a rough through and through and everyone has the love-hate relationship with him from a friends to his elders and even his enemies. I just loved it. And that is exactly right, but here is what makes Chengmeng special. Underneath all the comedy and the chaos, there is a man carrying the impossible grip. Everyone he loved, his master, his sworn brothers and his seniors, they all been dead for 100 years. He wakes up alone, a word that forgotten him. He never really get to a grieve properly. He just keeps moving, he keeps pushing forward. And that is genuinely inspiring. He doesn't use his past life as an excuse to be arrogant. He uses it as a fuel. He sees potential in the weak disciplines that no one else can see because he remembers what a true Mount Hua discipline is supposed to look like. He is demanding, harsh even, but even hard training sessions, every insert, every punch, it comes from love. He wants them to be great. One of the community review put it perfectly. His boldness in seizing opportunities, his step ladder thinking, he is great and inspiring protagonist. That Chengmeng complicated, funny, emotional, terrifying, and he needs to be 100% someone you root for every single chapter. Now let's get into the what fans online are actually saying about the manhwa, because the community reaction to Return of the Mount Hua sector is fascinating. On forums and reviews platform, one of the most common things people say that this manhwa is surprising them. They expected just another reincarnation story, and instead they got something with real emotions and weight. One of the popular review called it as a perfect blend of action and comedy with a side dish of adventure and growing suspense with each arc. That captures it well. Each arc builds on the last, the tension grows gradually, and by the time the big moment hits, you are invested. A lot of fans specifically highlighted the sides, characters and disciplines. This is actually a huge part of why people love this series. It is not just about a Qingming. You fall in love with the entire Mount Hua sector. You watch these weak, scared kids slowly transform into warriors with a real confidence and skill, and when they win their first major fight, bro, it hits you different. Also, I read one commenter saying that the story makes you wanna go Nakama forever. You will be laughing most of the time only to be hit by awe at how awesome the MC character traits are. Another reviewer noted how rare this manhwa feels compared to the current market. A lot of work just follows the ideas of the popular ones in their genre. This is different, this is real gem. Now, is everyone positive? No, and we will get to that in the pros and cons section, but the general consciousness online is clear. This manhwa earns its reputation. It is not a hype without substances. The people who love it really genuinely love this one. One description from this community stood out to me most. Its story and about building the martial art, which all its obstacles, negotiations, trading, support, description, humanity, social aspects, kindness and teaching principles. That's not a typical battle manhwa. That's a word, and that's why people stay. Okay, we need to talk about the visuals and the sword art, because this is where Return of Mount Hua sector separates itself from the almost every Muramurin manhwa. The plum blossom sword techniques are gorgeous. Like the artist clearly put the insane work to make every technique feel like it has a weight and meaning behind it. When a Qingming draws his sword, each movement tells the story. The petals, the flow, the precision. It is not just a flashy animation trick, it's a martial philosophy draws on the pages. One reviewer noted that the martial motions are not just as swift as Sakamoto's days or flashy as a slow leveling, but they are so artistic and full of descriptions of their respective manhwa principles and meaning behind each movement. Wow, that's such an accurate talk. This isn't explosions for the sake of explosion. This is the craft and the emotion scenes and draws just as well as an action. When MC breakdowns even for just one panel, the art completely changes. It gets quieter, more still, and somehow that's more powerful than any sword fights. The overall art style is clean, expressive and gets consistently better as the series progresses. Season 2 is especially the quality jump notably. You can feel the artist leveling up along the characters. Alright, real talk time. Pros and cons of the Return of Mount Hua sector, because no manhwa is perfect and you deserve a honest review. Talking about the pros, first one, the main character is genuinely unique. Qingming breaks the mold of the typical Muramurin MC. He is funny, he is emotional, he is flawed, and he grows in the way that feels real. Second one, the cast is incredible. It's not just a one-man show. The disciplines, the elders, even the rival sector members, they all feel the real people with their own arcs, and you start to care about them. Third one, perfectly balance of the comedy and serious moments. The comedy never undermines the emotional scenes, and the serious arc hits harder because of all the love that came before them. Fourth one, sector building is addictive. Watching Mount Hua rebuilding from nothing is genuinely satisfying. Every small win feels like earned, and every setback stings. And fifth one, the art is beautiful. Especially the fight scenes, the plum blossom technique are some of the most artistic sword work in the genre. And sixth one, actual character development. Character grows, disciplines who stands weak and scared because of warriors you are proud of. Sixth one, actual character development. Characters grows, disciplines who started as a weak and scared becomes warriors you are proud of. That progression is deeply rewarded to the readers. Now there are cons also. First one, slow burn time. The first 10 to 15 chapters are set up. It's not action action-packed from the page 1. Readers who want instant hype might drop it early, which would be huge mistake, but it's a real barrier. Second one, very long series with a novel source material still ongoing. This is long-term commitment. If you don't like slow building epics, that might not be for you. Third one, comedy can feel repetitive at times. Some of the running gags, especially Chungmung begging for the money or being scolded by elders, repeats a lot. Most fans find it charming, but it can get old for some readers. Fourth one, power scaling is not always clear. The Mount Hua world has a lot of powerful levels, titles and ranking systems. New readers can get confused by who is actually strong and why. Fifth one, side villain can feel underdeveloped. Some of the antagonist sectors introduced in earlier arcs don't get as much at depth and as they deserve. They exist mostly to be stepping stone for the Mount Hua's growth. Overall, the pros completely overwhelm the cons. This is the must read. Just be patient in the beginning. Now, I want to take a second to talk about something that I think makes this manhwa more than just entertainment. There is a real life lesson inside the return of Mount Hua sector. Chungmung gave everything he had and still watched things fall apart. This is pain. A lot of us know you work hard, you sacrifice, you sometimes despite of all that things still crumble. But he doesn't use that as a reason to stop. He wakes up in the world that doesn't know him with no power, no recognition, no easy path, and he chooses to start again. Not because it's easy, not because he's guaranteed to win, but because the sector, those people, that legacy is worth fighting for. How many times in the life do you face a versions of that? You build something and it gets torn apart. You lose someone you love, you look around and realize the world moves on without you. The message of this manhwa, underneath all the sword fights and comedy, is this: your legacy is not built on the great moments, it's built on every small choice you make to keep going when everything says stop. Chungmung's greatest sword technique isn't the plum blossom, it's his refusal to quit, and I think that's why this manhwa resonates with so many people across so many countries. It's not just an action story, it's a story about purpose, about mentorship, about what it truly means to rebuild someone from the ruins and make it greater than it ever was before. This kind of story never gets old. So, final verdict on the return of the Mount Hua sector. If you love the manhwa, this is non-negotiable. Read it now. If you are new to the manhwa and want something that gives you action and story and emotions and humor, start here. Seriously, this is one of the best entry points into the genre, and if you are already ready, drop in the comments who is your favorite discipline is. Is it Yongjong, Baekjeong, Jogal? Let me know. And this is AnimPTB, your home for the best manhwa and anime content on the YouTube. If this video hit different for you, smack that like button. It genuinely helps the channel to grow and means we can keep making content like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. We post every week covering the best manhwa, anime and the hidden gems you need to know about. And hey, if this video inspires you even a little bit, good, because like Chungmung, every comeback start with a one description to get up and keep going. I will see you in the next video. Until that, peace out, bye bye, sayonara.